Hello everyone, and welcome back. Throughout history, exceptional individuals, from pioneers in science and art to brave explorers and inspiring humanitarians, have left an unforgettable mark on the world. Names like Neil Armstrong, Albert Einstein, Johann Sebastian Bach, and Mahatma Gandhi remain timeless icons. Today, thanks to advanced AI technology, these legendary figures are brought to life with more clarity than ever before, making it feel as if you're standing face to face with history itself. Who would you like to meet next? Leave a comment below. The legend you're waiting for might just appear in the next episode. Albert Einstein, 1879–1955, was a German Jewish physics genius, father of the theory of relativity, the man who completely changed humanity's understanding of space-time and the universe. In 1921, he received the Nobel Prize in Physics for his discovery of the photoelectric effect. Facing the rise of fascism, Einstein moved to the United States and became a global symbol of intellect, as well as a powerful voice for peace and human rights in the 20th century. Niels Henrik Abel, 1802–1829, was a Norwegian mathematical prodigy who laid the foundation for elliptic function theory and modern analysis. Although he died of tuberculosis at the age of 27, he left behind a vast legacy, including Abel's theorem, and the proof that general quintic equations have no solution by radicals. His work was only recognized posthumously but deeply influenced 19th-century mathematics to honor him. The prestigious AEL Prize in Mathematics was established in 2002. Charlie Chaplin, 1889–1977, was a legendary icon of silent cinema and satirical comedy, famous for his character, the A figure blending humor and deep human emotion. He was a multi-talented artist-actor, director, screenwriter, and composer behind masterpieces like The Kid City Lights and The Great Dictator. In 1952, he left the United States amid political tensions and settled in Switzerland. Chaplin died in 1977, leaving behind an immortal legacy in cinema. Mahatma Gandhi, 1869–1948, was a great spiritual and political leader of India who led the independence movement from British colonialism through nonviolence and non-cooperation, with the philosophy of ahimsa, nonviolence, and a simple lifestyle. He became a global symbol of peaceful resistance. Gandhi was assassinated in 1948, but his thought and moral example still live on in human history. Ferdinand Magellan, 1480–1521, was a Portuguese explorer, renowned for initiating the first circumnavigation of the globe under the Spanish crown in 1519. He set sail with 5 ships across the Atlantic Ocean, passed the southern Strait of South America, now bearing his name, and entered the Pacific. Magellan died in the Philippines in 1521, during a conflict, but the expedition he began was completed, ushering in a new era of maritime exploration and confirming the Earth's spherical shape. Joseph Addison, 1672–1719, was an English writer, literary critic, and politician, best known as co-founder of The Spectator magazine, alongside Richard Steele. He helped shape modern English prose, with a style that was clear, witty, and full of thought beyond literature. Addison held various government positions and was celebrated for his oratory. His name endures as a symbol of Enlightenment culture in 18th-century England. Paul Cézanne, 1839–1906, was a French painter, considered the father of modern art for his bold style blending form, light, and structure. He served as a bridge between Impressionism and Cubism, greatly influencing Picasso and Matisse works, like The Card Players and Mont Saint Victor, clearly reflect his artistic identity. Though once rejected by the academic art world, Cézanne kept painting in Aix-en-Provence. He died in 1906, leaving a legacy that transformed 20th-century painting. Bertrand Russell, 1872–1970, was an English philosopher, logician, and social activist. One of the greatest minds of the 20th century, he helped shape analytic philosophy and co-authored Principia Mathematica, a foundational work in modern logic. Russell was also known for his anti-war stance and advocacy for freedom and human rights. In 1950, he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature for his profound philosophical and humanitarian contributions. Russell died in 1970, leaving a legacy of enduring thought worldwide. Anton Chekhov, 1860–1904, was a Russian writer and physician, regarded as a master of the short story, and one of the world's greatest playwrights with a subtle psychological style. He created masterpieces like The Cherry Orchard, Three Sisters, and The Seagull despite suffering from tuberculosis, wrote until the end of his life. He died in 1904, leaving a literary legacy that continues to influence generations. Albert Schweitzer, 1875–1965, was a German-born doctor, philosopher, theologian, and distinguished organist, later becoming a French citizen. He gave up his academic career to travel to Gabon, Africa, where he built a hospital and devoted nearly 50 years to treating the local population, advocating the philosophy of reverence for life. He was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1952. Schweitzer also received the Goethe Prize in 1928 and the German Book Prize in 1951, becoming a global icon of compassion. Ernest Hemingway, 1899–1961, was an American writer, war correspondent, and literary icon of the 20th century, known for his concise and powerful prose style works like The Old Man and the Sea, A Farewell to Arms, and For Whom the Bell Tolls left a lasting mark on modern literature. Hemingway received the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1954. He died in 1961, leaving a literary legacy with global influence. Robert Boyle, 1627–1691, was an Irish scientist regarded as the father of modern chemistry. He is known for Boyle's Law, which describes the relationship between gas pressure and volume, as a founding member of the Royal Society. He promoted experimental methods over alchemy. Boyle died in London in 1691, leaving a major legacy in physics, chemistry, and natural philosophy, laying the foundation for modern science. Robert Fulton, 1765–1815, was an American inventor and engineer famous for successfully applying the steam engine to water transport in 1807. The Claremont, a steamboat he designed, ran between New York and Albany, marking a turning point in river transportation beyond steamboats. Fulton also studied submarines, canal systems, and mechanical devices. He died in 1815, remembered as a pioneer in the modern transportation revolution. Johannes Brahms, 1833–1897, was a distinguished German composer often seen as Beethoven's spiritual successor. He made his mark with emotionally rich works, such as Hungarian dances, the German Requiem, and 4 symphonies that combined romantic depth with classical structure, living simply and dedicating his life quietly to art. Brahms died of liver cancer in Vienna in 1897, leaving behind an immortal legacy in the world's musical heritage. Selman Waksman, 1888–1973, was an American microbiologist of Ukrainian origin, known for discovering streptoisin, the first antibiotic effective against tuberculosis. He researched hundreds of soil-dwelling bacteria, ushering in a new era for antibiotic medicine in 1952. Waksman received the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. He died in 1973, leaving a major legacy in the fight against infectious diseases. Giordano Bruno, 1548–1600, was an Italian philosopher, astronomer, and former monk, known for his bold views on an infinite universe and the existence of many worlds. He challenged the religious doctrines of his time, with free thought, reason, and science. As a result, Bruno was sentenced to death by the Inquisition in 1600. He was burned alive in Rome, becoming a tragic symbol of intellectual freedom and resistance to dogma. Marco Polo, 1254–1324, was an explorer and merchant from Venice, famous for his 24-year journey across Asia to the Yuan court in China. He was one of the first Europeans to document Eastern cultures, politics, and life. In his book, The Travels of Marco Polo, upon his return, he shared his extraordinary experiences, inspiring generations to explore the world. Jean Calvin, 1509–1564, was one of the most influential figures in shaping Protestant theology in Europe. Born in France, but associated with Geneva, Switzerland, he established a church model based on disciplined, strict doctrine and the idea of predestination. Calvin's influence extended beyond religion to political and social thought. He died in Geneva in 1564, leaving behind a system of ideas inherited over many centuries. Alfred Nobel, 1833–1896, was a Swedish scientist and industrialist famous for inventing dynamite, wealthy from the arms industry. He gradually became concerned about the legacy he would leave in his will. Nobel decided to allocate most of his fortune to establish the Nobel Prizes, the world's most prestigious awards in physics, chemistry, medicine, literature, and peace. He died in 1896, leaving behind a paradoxical but deeply humanistic legacy. Clara Barton, 1821–1912, was an American nurse and humanitarian, known for aiding wounded soldiers during the Civil War, where she was called the Angel of the Battlefield. She personally delivered medical supplies to the front lines and cared for the injured. After the war, Barton founded the Office of Missing Soldiers and led efforts to bring the International Red Cross to America, officially founding the organization in 1881. She died in 1912, leaving a profound humanitarian legacy. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to share it with your friends and hit subscribe so you won't miss our next exciting content.